What is up, people of YouTube? I'm your host, Vernon. This is West Shoal Lake. Let's fish that. Alright, ladies and gents, this particular lake was recommended to me by some of my viewers. This is a good place to try and find some big master perch. But I'm not going to go out there today looking for a Manitoba master angler fish. No, I just want to get a fish at least. Now, I just want to point out that I'm on West Shoal Lake. There is West Shoal, East Shoal, and North Shoal. But East and West Shoal Lakes are kind of joined together. So it doesn't matter whether you go on East or West, it's the same lake. Now, access to this lake can be rather difficult. So all I'm doing is I'm driving to, I find the bridge that is on the west side of the lake, and from there I just have easy access to the water, so I can take my sled and everything, get out onto the ice and find a good spot to try and fish. So that's the simple plan for today. Let's get on the ice and start fishing. Alright, ladies and gents, I've had quite a day out there today. Early this morning I took the little sled, walked half a kilometer, made a little hole through the ice to discover that I'm only in 80 centimeters worth of water. At that point I thought it's better take the car, drive out on the ice and go find some deep water. Now, of course, I'm not the only one out here. I could see quite a lot of people far out on the lake and driving in the tracks that was out there. And I happened to get the car stuck in the snow. There was a little deep trough in the ice filled with snow, and I ran straight into that following the tracks. I had to do a lot of digging to get all of the snow out of the way. Spent a couple of hours digging the car out to get out of the snow. Unfortunately, we spent quite a lot of time on that and didn't do that much fishing. I have been trying for about an hour or two in this particular spot where I'm at. I'm fishing in something like 1.5 meters worth of water. So rather than having a skunk-filled video out there, I do have some older videos, something that I made earlier this year. And I do hope you guys understand and have some sympathy struggling out on the ice. I am new to ice fishing. So rather than showing you the struggle, I'm going to show a bit of an older video. Alright, ladies and gents, why is Lockport so special? It is believed that in this particular spot, per square miles, there is the same amount of fish in this area than there is in a coral reef. That is why this is a great place to try and fish. Now, regularly I will go out there, throw out some night crawlers or some big lures trying to find some big fish. But as is so often the case in a coral reef as well, sometimes the fish that are being counted are small fish. So even though there might be a lot of fish out there, some of them might be small. So for that reason, I'm not going to go for the big baits or the big lures today. I'm going to try something different and see if we can get on some different fish. So let's get to the fishing. Alright, ladies and gents, as you can see at the moment, the water level is rather low, exposing some structures. Great way to see where are all the snags and why you always get snagged on some things. Being able to see all of these little rocks and stuff sticking out. But we are going to be trying to find some fish out there. I'm going to start around here in this little channel, but my main idea would be to move around, try and find some deeper water, see if we can find any fish. Now, what am I changing and trying to do different today? Well, I'm still going to be using the regular setup I use with some 20-pound test braid. And at the end of the braid there, I have some 12-pound fluorocarbon and this tiny little plastic thing. Now, the idea with this thing is, this is kind of like a bombarder, same type of idea. It's a little plastic thing that gives you castability, some weight, but this thing sinks very slowly in the water. And below that, I'm just going to put a simple little fly. Going for a little woolly bugger. Going to get that out into the water, try and move it slow, see if we can get some different fish to go for that. And of course, I have a bunch of different flies that I can put on, try some different patterns, see if we can get anything to go for some of the smaller bait fish looking things, or maybe some leech imitations. Now, if you don't have a little plastic thing like this, you can always go for something like a 1/4 ounce lead weight, little egg weight. That will do the same thing. The idea being able to cast it out there and retrieving it back. Hopefully not being too heavy to get snagged on some of the rocks, but a great way to get some light lures out into the water. Alright, so let's hope we don't lose this entire setup on the first cast. First going to do is cast it out there, just bring it back in so we can feel how it feels in the water, and then I'll try letting it sink down a bit, see where in the water column the fish are, and I'm going to be moving around, casting around. Now, of course, this thing being as light as it is, it's going to move down the current, but that's not bad. That's something we want. We want to see if we can maybe bring it towards some fish. I'm also going to be casting upstream because of that reason for it moving. And of course, if nothing happens on this setup, I can always swap over to some lures, or maybe going for some jighead night crawlers, see if we can get any fish out there today. But I am going to give this method a good proper test to see if we get anything. I'm thinking it's a bit shallow up here, need to move a bit down, find some deeper water. Alright, but this area has quite a lot of line down there. I only had one little hit that I didn't get a hook set on. So I think maybe time to move around, find something a bit different. There we go. We actually have a fish on. Didn't move yet. Saw some fish following. So let's try again. And we got a little sauger. First little fish for today. Lovely little sauger. Know it's a sauger because of all the different spots here on the top fin there. It was a walleye. It should only have one big dot there, but all of these small ones, that's how I know it's a sauger. And it does have white, but it's not a big white spot. Alright, lovely first catch. Let's get him back down there. There he goes, hiding in between the rocks. Off he goes. Alright, but that just proves the concept to me. The fish are willing to go for some flies behind this little thing. I'm going to cast that around. Let's see if we get anything else. Alright, ladies and gents, I just had a tiny pike follow me in, and I could see him hit my little lure, and he cut me off completely. So even using a 15-pound test fluoro, little pike can still cut you off. But that does give me a little opportunity to try some different looking flies. I do have a little selection of a few flies with me. I'm going to try some different colors and patterns, see whether the fish are willing to go for something a bit different. Maybe, hopefully, we can get something a bit different.
Alright, ladies and gents, the biggest problem with trying something new is you have no idea how it's going to go. And I actually tried quite a lot of different flies out there in my first setup, and we only got that one little fish on the fly. I did also hike quite a bit to try and find some deeper water. I did find some deeper water, but it seemed like the action of the flies worked better in the fast-moving current. And after a while, I gave up on the flies, went over to some trusty old lures, threw around a bunch of different lures, and in the end, we got a couple of fish out there, but still, all of them saugers. There was that one big walleye, but I lost that one. So, of course, I was hoping to get on some new different species of fish using something different. But at the end of the day, we got some fish, and I'm very happy with that. Now, it might just be the wrong time of the year to try this, or maybe I'm just in the wrong spots. It's going to take some practice to get it perfect. But all in all, I had a fun time, and if you enjoyed the video, please do give me a little thumbs up for getting some fish at least. Feel free to ask any questions down below in the comments. And if you're new to the channel, consider hitting subscribe, joining my community. But I want to thank you for following along, and like always, I'll see you next time.